Hey, what is up guys? This is Zach, and a while ago I ended up selling my Inspire 1 in order to pick up the Phantom 4 drone. Mostly because I was sort of sick of traveling with the big Inspire 1, but we'll get into all of that a little bit later. So in my Inspire 1 review, there seemed to be a lot of controversy about the Phantom 4 in that review, and either way, we're going to solve it all right here in my Phantom 4 review. So without further ado, let's get right into it. Alright, so all good reviews usually start with the design. So what I want to say about the Inspire 1's design before I get into the Phantom 4 is I really fell in love with the Inspire 1's design, not only because it looks really cool, but more importantly because it's different than the Phantom. When you think of a drone, the Phantom is the first thing that comes into your head. That's what everyone has, and I was sort of trying to separate myself from that vision. So moving into a Phantom 4 was kind of hard for me because it was definitely downscaling. Now I said a while back that the Phantom's design looks like a toy, and I stand by that. But now that I think about it, it shouldn't stop you from picking it up. Now, the Phantom is a good bit smaller, and one of my viewers noted that the Phantom 4 is basically a miniature Inspire 1, but really it's the other way around if you ask me. The Inspire 1 is really just a more powerful, better looking version of the Phantom 4. But if you truly know how to use the drone and how to use a camera, you can get very, very similar results. Now moving on to some pros and cons just to end out this comparison, the Phantom 4 being so much lighter than the Inspire 1 makes the Phantom 4 not only so much easier to travel with, but you also get about 10 more minutes of extra flight time, which is a big deal when that's more than a third of what you get extra compared to the Inspire 1. So as I alluded to earlier, the main reason that I got the Phantom 4 was because it's so much easier to travel with. Basically, I can carry it in either the styrofoam case or even easier, just strapped to the outside of my bag, and it doesn't add that much weight. It's so much easier to carry with one hand, and it's really not possible to do that with the Inspire 1. And you can just take it and go. The Inspire 1 takes a lot of time, something you have to get used to, and it's not really a good first drone. It's a really good professional step up drone because you know those steps already. You have to take it out of the case, out of travel mode, get the camera, the propellers, the battery, all that stuff over again when you want to put it back away. But the Phantom 4 is really just put the propellers on and fly up. It's really simple and it's really easy to work with, something I really, really like about it. Now a great example of how much easier it was to travel with it was on my trip to Panama. I just put the styrofoam case inside of my carry-on luggage along with some other clothes and I was set to go. No issues, it's much easier than carrying around a full-on hard case dedicated to a drone. And I didn't get any questions or anything like that because I just put it inside of a normal bag. It looked really normal and it was really easy to travel with. So now let's find out if the camera is really a deal breaker or not. One of the main reasons that I was really into the Inspire 1. So with the Inspire 1, the camera is suspended under the propellers, allowing it to get full 360-degree shots of wherever you want the camera to go, as well as never getting the propellers in the shots because they're up above the field of view. Now something that I learned which is sort of different from the Phantom 3 is that with the Phantom 4, unless you go into sports mode or unless you push it above about 10 meters per second, the propellers are always out of the shot. So as long as you don't push the drone too much, or if you have the camera angled more down at the right time, you never get the propellers in the shot, and that's something I really wish I knew when I was purchasing my first drone. Now actual camera spec wise, they both share a 20mm full frame equivalent lens with a 1 and 2.3 inch sensor and an f2.8 constant aperture. And from my use, I would say that the ISO range is about the same, if not just a tad bit better when it comes to low light performance on the Phantom 4. Now the stabilization is also about the same between the two, but you should keep in mind that the Inspire 1 does have a detachable gimbal, which can come in handy in some cases if you crash it or something like that. Overall, I haven't had any issues with the Phantom 4's camera, and it has actually been working perfect for me. So now we've talked about the build, the quality, and the camera, so why don't we go ahead and give you guys a highlight reel of all the footage I've been able to get in the last month that I've had this Phantom 4. I've been flying it a few times a week, just trying to get some great shots right here, so enjoy this next minute of footage. So if you ask me, the footage doesn't look that much worse or different from the Inspire 1s, yet the price is way cheaper. This thing definitely packs a punch for its size at about 1.3 kilograms or 2.8 pounds. So it's time for the final decision. Was the Phantom 4 worth my money, and more importantly, your money? Well, let me put it this way. For $1,400, if you're coming down from an Inspire 1, it seems like a really good price, but if you're coming up from a Phantom 3, it can be really hard to justify. See, the Phantom 3, you can get them from anywhere from $500 to $900 new, which is an absolutely insane price range for getting into drones. So what I would say is, if the Phantom 4 is too much but you're interested in a drone, definitely look around at the Phantom 3s. But if you're contemplating for an Inspire 1, I would say take a good hard look at the Phantom 4 if you want to get something that's better than the Phantom 3 and just almost as good as the Inspire 1. Sometimes I do miss my Inspire 1, but I'm very happy with my miniature version, and I think it's just as good most of the time. So thanks so much for watching my review of the Phantom 4. And if you guys want to see more drone reviews, let me know down below, and check out my Inspire 1 review over there. I think it's over there. Yeah, check it out, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Peace.